be demanding that whichever network gets to brand the debate and produce the debate, they should be forced to allow it for repurposing as if it were the State of the Union address on C-SPAN. I actually disagree with debates for public office even being held by private organizations, but if they are, they must be treated like a public service event. We're picking the next president, or at least the person who will compete to be the next president in the general election. It can't be a sporting event for profit at the exclusion of everybody else. I did not think Andrew Yang did well in the first debate. He barely got a chance to speak. And he did well last night, despite, by the way, Yang was the fourth in terms of polling on the stage last night. And from the analysis I saw this morning that producer Pat sent me, he got some of the least speaking time, and yet he still did really well. Andrew Yang gave a really good answer, framing Medicare for all as something that's good for small businesses, which really reverses the Republican talking points on the issue. He worked in his $1,000 a month freedom dividend in a more natural sounding way than usual. One of the criticisms of Andrew Yang is he often goes to that freedom dividend in ways that seem very forced and they don't really land in a way that you would want. He did much better on that. He gave a really strong answer about reality TV politics that the crowd.
What is the fascination with Kamala Harris?
I don't get it.
No, there was so much. I remember
that
CNN.
sounds crazy.
No, I remember CNN running stories talking about how I remember they highlighted a story of this grandfather who was walking his son to the polling booth or something like that, and he said, "How could I ever tell my grandson I did not vote for America's first black president or for the first, major black candidate?" And there's this overwhelming thought that identity politics has gotten so bad that it's no longer even just thinking, oh, based upon their skin color, they're bad. It's this strange thought that they will be good. That because they're a female, they will be good. Or because they're black, they will be good. And it's great. I don't want people thinking negatively because of somebody's skin color. But shouldn't the president be a meritocracy and we push the candidates with the best ideas?
Well, voters do.
Instead of the best identity?
Well, I think we do, and that's why Obama won twice.
Better than Kamala because I watched the debate twice. And I had to prep for you guys for the show and get the clips and all that stuff. So my first reaction, the first time I watched it, I thought Kamala did better than Biden. Then the second time I watched it, I said, actually, no, Biden did better than Kamala. And what's interesting is mainstream media is saying Kamala had a very bad night, which is fascinating to me because I was convinced that when the debate was over, that they would go right back to their, oh my God, Kamala's the best, Kamala's the best, Kamala's the best stuff. And they didn't do it. So I thought that was strange. Now, they also aren't saying Biden had a good night, which again is kind of surprising. I thought if you're not going to say Kamala had a good night, you're going to say Biden did have a good night. No, it appears to be relatively consistent, at least from everything I've seen. Maybe it's changed now, but Kamala and Biden, mainstream media was kind of saying they both didn't have a good night. All I know is people were landing body blows on both of them. And the first time I watched, I didn't notice as many of the body blows on Kamala, and I thought Biden was getting obliterated. Then the second time I watched, I realized it was almost, at moments, it was almost too much of a pile-on against Biden, and to the point where he kind of came across as a somewhat sympathetic figure at times.
Last night, it was much less clear who won per se, but I believe that the strongest in night two were Andrew Yang and Joe Biden. Now, I want you to just hear me out on this, okay? I know this is something that many in the audience aren't going to agree with. I believe that Joe Biden ended up doing well last night simply because the sustained ganging up on him started to fall flat and fail, okay? I don't like condescending to the audience, but I want to issue disclaimers. I don't think Biden won because he said anything extraordinary. I don't think Biden won in the sense that he appealed to actual progressives. Biden is one of the more center-left candidates on stage, not one of the more progressive candidates on stage. But basically what ended up happening is that no one stood out in any reasonable way other than Andrew Yang, which I will get to, and Biden merely by sustaining attacks that became more and more sort of flaccid, for lack of a better term.
Makeup on our faces, and our rehearsed attack lines playing roles in this reality TV show. It's one reason why we elected a reality TV star as our president. We need to be laser focused on solving the real challenges of today.